Hey, I'm your host, Dr. Desiree Cassell. I'm an orthopedic and pelvic floor physical therapist specializing in women's health, aka pelvic floor. I'm a wife, mom of 3, foodie, lover of all things movement and nature, and I'm super passionate about educating, empowering, and supporting other women like you to find and maintain balance throughout all aspects of their lives, without pain, pressure, or peeing their pants. And this is the Balanced Momtality Podcast, where we will talk about all things pelvic floor, your core, and optimizing your pregnancy, birth, and postpartum recovery, providing you with the knowledge and tools so that you can feel like the strong, playful, and happy mom that you and your family deserve. Now let's get you out of those pads and back to loving movement. Fill up your water, pop in those AirPods, roll out your mat, and let's connect. Before we start today's episode, just a quick disclaimer that anything mentioned in this podcast is not meant to treat or diagnose any medical conditions. If you have any questions or concerns about your healthcare needs, please seek the care of your medical provider. This is also a safe space where we will be talking about very sensitive but important topics, such as issues with peeing and pooping, relationships, and even sex. So if you have littles around, probably a good idea to pop those AirPods in. But otherwise, I hope you enjoy today's episode. Hey love, we are back for a new week on the Pelvic Floor Core and More show. I hope you're loving the Restore Your Joint series. We have done all the way up to the SI joint and low back. Our next episode on Thursday is going to be diving into the mid and upper back and neck. So stay tuned, especially if you're someone that has mid back pain, neck pain, even shoulder pain, because a lot of shoulder pain comes from the spine. So stay tuned. But today we are jumping into some stuff that we might not think is very important, but that I can tell you has been something that has changed the game for me and for so many women that I have worked with. Because let's be honest, how often do you skip a workout because you didn't know what to do, or you had zero energy to decide what to do, or you just felt off, right? And this is where we might feel like we're failing, quote unquote, right? We're not doing what we know we should do. We're really just feeling overwhelmed, and it can come down to that decision fatigue. It's not really about your willpower. You're not a failure. It's your system's way of saying, hey, our energy isn't really in alignment right now. And while there are a lot of things, and I have done episodes on how to get in the right mindset and how to be consistent when the motivation isn't there, sometimes it comes down to just the simple fact that you don't really want to decide what to do, right? Like, yeah, even if you're like me and you know hundreds of exercises, in fact, the more exercises you know, the harder it is, because it's so many options, right? And as moms, especially in that postpartum phase or just in the chaos of motherhood, decisions are everywhere. And it can be the thing that wipes you out and the thing that keeps you from doing those workouts, even though you so desperately want to do them. And so this episode is here to help you see the importance of the planning and prepping. It is an act of self-support and a sacred tool for consistency, okay? And I will be the first to admit that I was never a planner. I am a jump in head first. Tell me a little bit about it, but I don't need to sit there and read and prep. I jump in before it ever really feels like it is the right time, right? If in my gut it's the right time, it's the right time. I'm not someone second guessing it, questioning it. And with that being said, it can lead to like chaos, right? Because even with exercise, yeah, cool, I jump right in. I don't even think about it. But that can also lead to a program that doesn't necessarily create the change, because you can show up even for an hour doing all this work at the gym and see barely any results if you don't have a good program. You need to have structure, you need to have progressive overload, and you need to have a plan, because if you don't, then things are just going to crumble. And it will also just help set you up for success, right? That mental load is so much, and a workout plan can really remove the daily, should I do this? What should I do? it's a vicious spiral, right? And this does come down to the nervous system. We need our nervous system to feel safe. Predictability and structure creates such a deeper ease and a sustainability and efficiency within your day that it will just feel so worth it. And I'll tell you, the weeks that I don't plan, I feel it by the end. Even if I showed up, I just feel frazzled versus the weeks that I set aside time that does seem like one extra step, right? That was always why I never planned. I'm like, like I barely have the time to do the damn thing. So why am I going to take extra time to plan how to do the damn thing? I'll just figure it out. But then I'm going in there throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping it sticks, hoping I figure out the right plan, when really, had I just taken a little extra time proactively, planned out my time, my day, my routine, that makes it so much easier to show up for. And I don't know about you, but again, being like type B and ADHD, my brain is all over the place. Another reason why I thought planning wasn't for me, right? I actually was just like, it doesn't work for me. It goes against the grain of my brain and all of the things. But because of that, I need the structure even more to keep me on track, because otherwise I just end up in a million directions feeling like I'm failing at all of them. And so I have the aligned workout plan pyramid. There are 3 pillars to this aligned plan, okay? So we're not just saying plan and do it, right? We are jumping into the energetics of it, the reality of it, the practicality of it, and we are making it clear and concise. And I am here for your planning. I am here for your prepping just as much as I am here for the action and the exercises and the actual doing part. I'm here for all of it. So reach out if you need any help, but we are going to jump in. So the 3 pillars of an aligned plan are, number 1, energetic awareness, okay? So this is knowing where you naturally have energy. Start tracking not only your energy throughout the day, and you don't have to physically track, although you can, and I will say inside of my Pelvic Floor Core and More app, there is a tracking feature. This is free. You can track your energy as well as you can track your sleep, your pain, your leaking, right? All of these things we want to keep an eye on because it can be so helpful to start to get an idea of, oh, wow, that week I actually had pretty good energy. Why? Or, oh, this part of my day I had pretty good energy. Why? Okay? Because if you keep showing up to do your workouts in a part of your day or a part of your cycle that you don't have energy, it's going to be hard to show up for it. And even if you show up, you're probably not going to show up to the full effect that you really wanted to. So having that energetic awareness and tracking your energy, tracking your cycle even, as women with our hormones, our energy fluctuates. I know I feel like crap during the half of my luteal phase and menstrual phase, whereas I feel like a superstar during my follicular and ovulation phase. And so knowing where you have energy and where you can push it is also helpful, because on the weeks you don't have energy, you can give yourself grace and say, hey, yeah, I didn't go to the gym today, but I did a little breath work and yoga at home. Boom, awesome. That actually supported my body as opposed to putting it in a state of stress because it was already tapped out. So tracking your cycle, keeping an eye on your sleep, your stress, and then syncing it with your energy. This isn't a one size fits all. Some people might feel different throughout their cycle than others, or through different parts of their day, depending on their work, their demand, right? So just start becoming aware of your energy throughout the day. So pillar number 1, energetic awareness. Pillar number 2, clarity on what and why. So this is knowing your focus that day or that week or that phase of your month, right? Or your plan of rehabbing. Say you are in a rehab healing phase and you've got really bad tailbone pain and you're trying to navigate that, and you want to make sure you're also keeping an eye on your neck that's been bugging you and your foot, right? Some of you have multiple things, and that's usually who I end up seeing. I don't usually see the easy peasy, I'm leaking a little bit, it goes away when I start doing a little bit of Kegels or breath work. I usually end up seeing the people who've tried all the things and it's still not coming together because we're missing the other pieces. So I end up giving people these programs where we're looking at different parts of the body, and it can be overwhelming. So having clarity on the what and why. What are you focusing on? What part of your body? Why are you focusing on that? Are you working on strength? Are you working on mobility? Are you working on healing? Are you working on cardio? Are you working on release work? Right? Like there's so many things we can work on. So giving that clarity and writing it down, like actually putting this next to in your planner, say it. I'm working out at this time and we're doing mobility for upper body, right? Or we're doing lower body strength. Like write it down so that then throughout the week, when you're like, oh yeah, I was going to work out today, you can open your planner and go, oh, cool. Or maybe you even put it in your phone, in your calendar. That's what I do. I have it in my appointment calendar so that it comes off and as an alarm, tells me, hey, go to the gym and do lower body strength. Cool. Now I don't have to think about it because at this point, I know what that looks like for me. But for many, that might even be too broad. You might have to have it in your notes section in that calendar appointment that you're going to do hip thrusts, deadlifts, side planks, right? Like you might actually write down exactly what you're going to do. And taking half an hour or an hour each week on a Sunday or whatever day you reset for your week to plan this out is just going to create so much efficiency and take away all of that energy you're wasting on what decisions to make. And having that clarity helps bring that intention to your body, intention to your movements, intention to your day, right? So the clarity on what and why is very important. And then the third pillar here in the aligned workout plan is schedule support. So choosing your workout windows and plugging them in. Again, just like appointments or meals, you really want to make sure that you are prioritizing, protecting, and making that time for you happen. And if that is a struggle for you, I also encourage to schedule support like accountability, whether that's a session with me. I have some patients that see me once a month just for accountability and support. I have a couple patients that even see me virtually weekly right now as accountability and support. They're even beyond the rehab phase. We're not working on treatment or rehab. I'm just there keeping you accountable, helping you move that needle forward, troubleshooting if any issues come up, because that's the thing too. You might have the best plan and then something comes up. Your shoulder starts to hurt. Your foot starts to hurt. Someone got sick. It threw everything off. I'm there to help you troubleshoot it. And if you really want to get all of the decision fatigue taken out, this is where my 12-week on-demand program, Restore, is really a game changer. Because again, you have 12 weeks laid out for you. The lessons are there. The workouts are there. There's a 5-minute mobility and breath work routine and a 20-minute strength and stability routine for every single week. So you just have to go and hit start. And it's not like you're just showing up for a workout and going through the motions. You have a lesson. You have my voice in your ear, bringing that attention to your breath, bringing that attention to your bracing. How are you moving through this pose? What are you feeling, right? Really honing it all together. And then you have that tracking feature as well, and the ability to reach out to me directly to troubleshoot issues that are coming up. So just know Restore is also there. But we can't plan if we also are not in the right mindset. We can do all the planning we want, but if our mindset isn't right, we're still going to end up just stuck and not showing up. So some common mindset blocks that I often see are, if I can't do a full workout, it's not worth it, right? But again, anything is better than nothing. You've heard me say this over and over, and I have even done a whole podcast episode on mindset shifts. So not going to take a ton of time here, but I'd be remiss if I didn't even mention it because again, we can plan and prep all we want, but if you show up and you're just in a negative shithole in your mind, it's going to be a waste, right? So we need to get our mindset in a better space. 5 minutes does count. Way better than nothing. Start with that. I have a free 5-minute workout routine already on my app inside the Pelvic Floor 101 workshop and masterclass. So even if you just do that same breathwork routine every day, you're getting some mobility, you're getting some breath, and you didn't even have to think about it. You just had to show up and hit start. The other thing though can be, I don't want to be rigid, right? Planning. This was me. I was like, I'm go with the flow. I'm type B. I just go with the flow, right? Whatever feels good in the moment. And I am still that person. But let me tell you the peace and freedom that planning has really done to my life. Again, it felt like it was so against the grain, but as I pushed myself to make this time every week, to show up to my planner, put my workouts in, schedule it around a time in my day where I know I have the energy, I'm protecting that time, it has just been the changer for me and how I am able to show up so consistently now. Because now I'm not worried if my kids get sick. I'm not worried if I go on a trip. I'm not worried if I hurt myself, right? Like I know I'm going to be back at the gym or back on my mat doing some breath work the next day. I just know that's part of my habit. It's part of my lifestyle at this point. Anything is better than nothing. And we don't have to be rigid. The planner is really there as a guide. So you might have it time blocked during a certain time of your day where you have good energy to do your workout. Maybe it's when baby's getting a nap, or that alarm might go off and you might be like, oh, I'm feeding the baby. This isn't going to work. No, what it means is, okay, let's finish feeding the baby. But as soon as I'm done with that, I am going to do my workout. I'm not going to get caught up in the dishes or the laundry or any other chore I see around the house until I'm done with my workout. So you do have to hold that hard boundary for yourself because you deserve it. Hello, there's a reason you're putting it there. You do want to make these changes and it's not easy. So be strong with yourself, stick to these goals, and even 5 minutes will start to build into 10 to 15 to 30, and it will not feel hard. It removes the guesswork, so it really does feel so much better. The other thing is I should just be able to do it, right? And this was also my mindset because I'm like, I know all the things, right? Like I know all the things I should be doing. I should just be able to do it. But we're not meant to hustle blindly. You're meant to honor your energy. So yeah, you should just be able to do it. But maybe your brain and body are telling you, but not that, right? Like we don't want to go do a whole hour workout where we're pushing hard. Maybe if we had planned and prepped, we would have realized this is our luteal phase of our cycle. We're not going to have the energy. We are going to feel like crap. So we instead planned in a gentle walk with a friend that day instead of a high intensity workout. That's going to feel so much better to show up for, and you're not going to be fighting against your own grain. So just some mindset shifts to think about. But let's give you some real life strategies to make this stick. So I mentioned some few things already, but just to be nice and clear, plan 1 to 2 weeks at a time. I say 1 week, right? If I get too far ahead, I have no idea what's going on. So I am 1 week at a time. I'm even 1 day at a time, but I do sit down on Sunday and plan out my week. This is a reset for me, and it's so nice to just get everything out on paper. And it is surprising how much instant relief that is already on my nervous system to get it all out of my brain. And then decide one, right? This is the decide one method. Plan in advance and commit. So you're deciding one exercise, one type of movement, right? Whether that's you want to start walking more, you want to start going to the gym and doing strength more, you want to start doing more release work and breath work, right? Like whatever it is, just start with one. Because yes, I do have a plan where I'm doing some strength every day, or not every day. I'm doing strength like 3 to 5 times a week. I'm doing a little breath work every day. I do release work every few days, and I have it planned out. Am I super great at sticking with it? No, not always. But guess what? Because I have it written down, I usually get in release work once or twice a week, even if I don't get it in the 3 or 4 times a week I wanted to. And guess what? Once or twice a week is way more than the 0 times a week I was getting before when I wasn't planning it out and waiting for the pain to say, hey, do some stretching and breath work and release work, right? If we're proactive about these things, we can really see a lot of changes. And then the next thing is align it with your calendar and anchor it to something. So build that routine, that habit stack, right? So whether it's, oh, we just cleaned up after breakfast, I'm going to feed baby, put baby down, boom, that's when I'm doing my workout. Or, oh, I just got kids off to school, boom, that's when I'm going to the gym and doing my workout. And that's me. Right after I drop kids off for school, I'm going to the gym right before I go to work and see patients. But make sure you're planning it in a period of your day where, again, you have energy and you can consistently show up for it. Because if every day it's a different time, that's also going to be hard to show up for. But some people have different schedules. Some people work 2 to 3 days in a row and then have a whole week off. So that just means that every week when you write down in your calendar, you're adjusting which days and where that block is for your own workout. And then again, change the reminders in your phone so that they are correlating and going off at the right time so you can be ready for it. And then also include some options. I think that, this doesn't say go against the pick one. That's saying within the thing you pick, build in options, right? So I'm talking energy level options, modifications. So say you planned to do a run, but you're just not feeling it. Go for the walk, right? We're adjusting. Or say you planned for the walk, but you're like, you know what? I actually have some good energy today. Go for the run. Or say you went and you were planning on really pushing your weight training that day, and you go and you roll that bar over your pelvis and your gut is saying, not today, or I should say your uterus is saying, not today. And yes, this was me this week. Unfortunately, I'm in my ovulation phase, which is normally when I have a lot of energy. And I do, so I planned to do a lot of heavy lifting. I was going to push my hip thrust and get up to 345 this week. I put all the plates on. I rolled that heavy bar over my pelvis and I instantly knew, nope, this is not going to work because I do have pelvic venous disorder. And unfortunately around ovulation, I feel a little bit more heaviness, a little more fullness in my pelvis. So as soon as I get into position, I can already feel that pressure building and it feels like a sharp knife. It does not feel good. So instead of going, oh shit, I guess I can't work out today, what I did was I took that bar off. I did not use the bar at all, but I thought, man, if I just do body weight, my glutes won't really get the engagement and strength that I really want. So I went to single leg. I did single leg bridges and hip thrusts instead because I knew that would be challenging for my glutes, but not too much weight to anger my pelvic pressure and the veins in my pelvis. So that goes to show how having options and different modifications can help keep you showing up even if it's not at the level you initially intended to. The other thing is to build in rest days and celebration days. So rest and recovery is just as important as the effort days. If you are going 7 days a week, your body is not recovering. And recovery is where the magic is made. This is where the muscles are rebuilt, the tissues get rehealed, and the cells turn over, toxins get detoxed. If you are not resting and recovering, you're not going to get the gains you want. You're probably going to be sore. Your body's going to be tapped out in a state of stress. So I encourage to start out with just 3 days a week with most exercise and activity so that you do have every other day to recover. And as that feels good, you can start filling in those gaps with other types of movement. It is still a good idea to give muscle groups a day in between. So even if you're working out every day, just add in the different variations, right? One day you might do a light walk. The other day you're pushing strength and upper body. And then the next day you're doing a little stretching and yoga or some cardio. The next time you go for weights, you're doing upper body again, right? You're giving that same muscle time to recover. And then the other thing is just to celebrate those wins, even if the win right now is just showing up for the damn thing. Even if you didn't stay 15, 20 minutes like you planned, you stayed 5. Celebrate the win. You're starting a new habit and it can be hard, but just know that it is going to pay off so much once that planning turns into a habit. And yes, I'm still planning, but the action of going and doing is now a habit for me, which takes off so much stress and pressure when sometimes things come up, right? And I'm not worried now that, oh, this is going to be the next month or 2 or 3 or 4 that I'm just not really showing up for myself. No, I know I'm going to show back up for myself. I have the plan and the structure to keep me there. And that is what I'm trying to build for you. Again, through Restore or my online virtual coaching or in-person coaching or my free Facebook group, right? I am here in so many capacities for you, whether it's for just the accountability and support, or you actually want the structure and all the decisions made for you. That's what I am here for. This is not about perfection. It's about partnership with your body and time in your day. We all have the same time, but some of us are way more productive with it than others because they are planning and being aware of these boundaries that they've placed for themselves, and they're honoring those boundaries. They're not just having the alarm go off and say, oh yeah, I'll get to that, and then pushing it off, right? Consistency doesn't mean daily workouts. It means I show up with intention and I move my body with love. When you plan, you're not just building muscle, you're building trust in yourself. And that is the thing that has been so helpful for me, because when I used to commit to something, I had this little voice in my head that said, yeah, we'll see about that, right? And that was everything. And it is the reason that I wasn't consistent with things, right? It's like I created my own reality. I knew that I wasn't very good at being consistent with things. But after time of showing up for myself for little 5-minute pockets, over and over and over, and showing up every Sunday for 3 years now. Although I will admit this last year, I haven't been as great at my Sunday ritual. It has been a little more sporadic, but I felt like I was losing my mind there for a bit a couple months ago. And part of it was because I wasn't planning. So part of me getting out of my funk and getting back into a space where I'm not overwhelmed and stressed out is the planning. And it feels so good. And I do trust myself now with so many other things. Like when I choose to commit now, that voice isn't there. Like it might pop up and go, are you sure? But I can really quickly be like, oh yeah, we got this, girl. Like no question about it. And I want you to feel that same way. So just know that I am here for you. Definitely go download Pelvic Floor Core and More. The app is there. It's free. There's already a free 5-minute workout there. And then inside the Pelvic Floor Core and More Pelvic Floor 101 Masterclass, there is a link for Restore that you can learn more about it there. You can't see Restore right now on the app, but you can look and get more info about it on my website or in the show notes in the link below. And I also posted last week a little reel on my Instagram page, The Balanced Momtality, showing you the inside scoop of Restore, what it looks like, how the layout is, all the awesome bonus modules you'll have. So definitely stay tuned for that. And it's never too late to join. If you are ready for it, click the link in the show notes and let's get you inside Restore now. But planning and prepping is always something that is going to benefit you. And if you need any more guidance, I am here for you. Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day. I know you've got so many other important things going on, but I hope it was helpful and you leave here with some tools to help you in your healing journey. And I just want to ask you, if you have found this helpful, to please leave a review on iTunes. Scroll down to the bottom of my podcast page and leave that 5-star review so it can help other women see this information. And also, if you want to be a part of my community of amazing women trying to balance all the things, great tips and insight and sharing stories and just motivating each other along the way, feel free to join my Facebook group, The Balanced Momtality, Wellness and Support. I hope to see you here next time on the Balanced Momtality podcast.